All right, so there's what we call confirmation checklist. Confirmation checklist. That's before you take a trade. Before you take a trade, all right, there are things you want to look at, all right, to make a confirmation. Am I buying or I'm selling? So you want to have your confirmation checklist before you take a trade. So now when you have your confirmation checklist, you begin to tick, okay? Trending, which direction? Support and resistance. Are we on a support or we are in a resistance? Okay. Does the closing candle have long wicks? Are we in a consolidation? You know, and all of that. Okay. Are we trending? Okay. So, okay, the criteria to look out for before taking a trade. The criteria include 1, trending. So this is going with the flow. Is it a downtrend or an uptrend? Check on a higher time frame to determine the trend. Support and resistance. Support and resistance. So very important in trading. Looking out for the major reversal area, this is mandatory. So you want to mark your support and resistance, and you want to wait for the reaction of what is going to happen there. Now, long wicks. Now, this speaks of price action. Wicks tells you a lot about decision being made in the background. They let you know that price wants to move in a particular direction. Wicks are more powerful together. When you see more wicks in a major zone, it tells you that price want to go in a particular direction. Consolidation. So this is sideways movement. Here, the market is pausing. It is an indicator that the market wants to turn around or move higher. It allows you the opportunity to start to get a strategy in place. Trend line. A diagonal line of support and resistance. You want to see if the market is responding to your trend line. This is optional. So now this we have looked at. Let's go back to that chart that we were in. Please, I want to please note them down now. The first one is trending. Second one, support and resistance, wicks, consolidation, and trend line. I'm stopping. I will stop share here now. We are going to the chart. So have you taken note of them? Because I'll be asking you. Trending, support and resistance, wicks, long wick, consolidation, and trend line. So let me stop share. And let me share this. Okay, so we are back here. Now, what was the first one? What was the first one? Can someone tell me? Let me check.
Trending.
Trending. Okay.
Trend width.
Okay, trending. Okay, so now I did this earlier. This now is what we want to look at again. Now we are talking about confirmation checklist before you take a trade. Now you are looking at this trade. What trend is this? This one now, the one that was like this. This is an uptrend. So the market was in an uptrend. It was doing what we call higher high, higher low, no, higher high, lower high. This thing will not make me. So let me take it from here like this. Okay. Okay, so let's drop it here and take it here again. Yeah. Okay. So in a trend, we have the higher high. This is high. Let's just say this is high. H. Okay. HL. Okay. So now this is actually a trend. A high was made here. This is actually a low. Okay. And this is the high. Now this becomes a higher low because it is higher than this low. This was the previous low. This point now was the previous low, and another low came. So this low is higher than this previous low. So this is why this one is called higher low. All right. So this was the high. This becomes the next high. The next high is higher than this one. This is higher high. Then we came down again. We produce another low, but this low is higher than the previous low. So it makes it higher low. Now we went further, we produce another high, which is higher than this previous one. This becomes higher high. Then we came further again, we produce another low, which is higher than the previous low. This becomes a higher low. Now something happens here where we have, this actually is a higher high, because this leg is higher than the, in as much as we say it's double top, this high is higher than this. So this is the leg. This is where the wick of this one is, why this one is here. So this is higher high. Now, after this higher high, we now got a low. This is a low. A low. Because now this low now broke the previous higher low. So this is where the trend has changed. This is where the trend has changed. Okay? So here is another high on this other side. On this wing now. Okay? So now that we have this is low. This one now will now become lower low. LL is lower low. Why? Because it's lower than this other low. This other low is higher. So it's a lower low. Now, this one now is a lower high. There's a high already, but this high, this is also a high, but is lower than the previous high. So this becomes a lower high. Okay, so the simple put is this. In an uptrend, you have higher highs and higher low, while in a downtrend, you have lower highs and lower low. Okay, so this thing, you don't need to begin to draw them like this. You know, when you have mastered it, just looking at the screen like this, you know what is happening. Just like when I did that first analogy and I showed us, I hope I'm recording. Okay, I'm recording. Okay, and I showed us, okay, double top, trend line, how it broke the trend line and also broke the neckline, came to do retest before we entered the trade. So all of those things that I did then, I was actually doing a check. Now, the second one, what's the second one? The first one is that we just looked at now. Okay, trending. Then support and resistance. Okay? Support and resistance. I hope you are seeing my screen. Which of my screen are you seeing?
It's the same one you have just used to.
Okay, the candlesticks. Yeah, yeah, higher high, higher low. Okay, now you want to look at another thing, support and resistance. So now this is actually a zone of support and resistance. So let me bring out something here now. I've shown us this before. If you can begin to put them together. So now you are looking at support and resistance. So this place has actually been a resistance, right? It has been a resistance. If you look at it, you can see these touches, you know. If you drag this thing, this guy broke and still came down, you see the touch. So this is actually a zone of support, of resistance. Now, when this market came, it broke above it, all right, came back, bounced out, came back the second time and broke it and retest. So now that it retested and gave us this bullish, bearish engulfing candle, all right, gave us this bearish engulfing candle from the zone, is another confirmation. So that was why all of these things are things I have looked at when I said this is where to enter this trade. So we have looked at trending, we have looked at support and resistance, wicks. Wicks, you want to look at wicks. Okay, so now if you look at this place, let me remove this guy. If you look at this place, you will see that there are multiple wicks here. All these are wicks. The candle, the shadow body of the candle is called wick. We have treated that one. These are wicks. So when you have all these wicks, shows you what it means is that there is a rejection around this area. So if you have all of these multiple wicks and you now have this trend broken, you can actually even take this trade from here, all right, even before all of this confirmation. But, you know, but we have different kind of traders and how they approach the market. Whatever works for you is what you do. So we want to look at all, these are the wicks that the presentation is referring to. So you want to look at wicks. So when you begin to see multiple wicks like this, that's to tell you that something is about to happen from this point. You know, there's going to be a rejection. So there has been a rejection. So you want to look for a confirmation for a sell. Now, if you go for that, okay, let me bring back that this thing here. Okay. So now let's go further to a lower time frame. Okay, this is 4 hours. Let's go to 30 minutes. Okay. Okay. So where we have this box, now you want to begin to look at what is happening around here. So first you can actually mark this zone. Now that you have seen something upstairs, you came downstairs and you mark this as a zone. Now, there has been rejection, and this has actually been where the point the candles are rejecting from, okay? The candles have been rejecting from here. Then all of a sudden, this guy tried to break, but he did not close below. Instead, he went back in. But this guy broke, and this guy came again, and this guy came back to it to retest, okay? So you can actually enter this trade from here, and your stop loss will be above this level, and you can begin to now take it down after looking at what has happened in the higher time frame. Okay, so that is the aspects of the weeks. That's the aspects of the weeks. So now let's see. We're talking about confirmation checklist, then consolidation. Consolidation. Now, let me look for where there is consolidation. Now, when there is trend, when a market is trending and it begins to consolidate, all of these are consolidation, but I want to look for a very thick one. Okay, so let's use this one. Let's use this one. You see what is happening here is a consolidation. What is happening here is a consolidation. Now, this market has been trending up. From here, the market has been buying. It has been buying. Now, it did the first consolidation here. This is actually another level of consolidation. Okay, so you drew this as consolidation. Now, what happened? The market broke below, came back in. So this one may have deceived you before it went further back up. Okay, came back here again, went up before this other consolidation. So what it did was, here, after the consolidation, it broke down, but it still did not take out the previous low. Now, before you know that a trend has changed, it has to take out the previous low. This was the previous low. Just like what happened here, this is the previous low, and this low is lower than this guy. So this guy came, it could not take out the previous low, and it went further up again, and it took this previous high, okay? So this was another low form. After that, the market came down, took this low, and came and did a retest. Then before it started going down, but the down journey was not too long, you know. So this is just to show you what a consolidation is. Now, consolidation is a market happening within a range, all right? So the buyers and sellers are equal, all right? They are just beating themselves until we'll have the most dominant side, which may either be the buyers or the seller. They will pull the strings to now break that range. So that's number 3 on the list of 4. So let me see. Okay, so trend line. Okay, we already have done trend line. That was what I started with when I was showing you this thing. So this is the trend line. Okay, this one is the trend line that was already broken. So all of these are confirmation checklists that you need to look at before you enter a trade. So let me stop share here. Let me stop share. Now, one thing you should note is that you are not going to get everything here once, all right? Now, this is just a foundation, a beginning. Now, there are some things you could be hearing now, they will not make sense to you, but over time, when you begin to put in more energy, when you begin to look at the chart, when you begin to study them, when you begin to go, now this video, some persons will say because they attended the class, they are not watching the videos. But I tell you, you can watch this video over and over again. You will be here, you'll be getting more understanding. Okay, you get more understanding. So for confirmation checklist, that is what those are the things you need to look at, and definitely they will always help you to make an informed decision before you enter the trade. So let me go back to that chart now. Let me go back to that chart. Let me go back to that chart. Let me share my screen again to go back to the chart. To go back to the presentation rather. Okay, so there's a second page. Okay. So now second page, you say price moving in direction. This is mandatory. You want to see that price is going in the direction you think. Okay, so it's a confirmation. I showed you that before you confirm that a trend has changed, it must break the previous low or the previous high to make a new high or a new low before the journey will continue downward, okay, or upward. Then retest. Now, when the price has broken the previous high or previous low, there should be a retest. I have repeatedly mentioned retest in the course of showing you the charts and what it means. So retest, you may also need to check for a retest. Did price break through your support line and went up or down? Price will want to retest that support or trend line. That's the retest. Then pullback, not necessarily a confirmation test, but if you miss a retest, you want to wait for a pullback. Now, what is a pullback? A pullback is just a short movement, all right, in a trend. So let's assume the market is buying. The market is buying up, okay, it's going up. Then maybe must have produced about 6 or 7 candles. Then it will now produce about 2 or 3 candles, downward and continue the upward again. That small move is called a pullback, okay? That it is in that pullback you will be getting the higher low or lower high in the case of uptrend and downtrend. Okay, so these are just this image is trying to show you resistance, okay, resistance, inside bar. All of this inside bar, they are chart pattern. All these are chart patterns. These are some of the things you want to look for. Pin bar. All these are these are for intermediates, where you begin to want to now learn about the candlesticks, the kind of name they have, and what each of them represent. Okay, I'm going to be giving you a candlestick Bible for those who have the time, who have the time to look at it. You can look at it. It will tell you more about candlesticks and what each candlestick type represents. Okay. Now, rules of trading. Rules of trading. Rules to abide by when trading. Okay, so do not trade under pressure. Do not trade under pressure. Do not trade with greed. That's one of the things that kills us so much. Okay, you have an account. Someone yesterday, I gave a trade. He has an account of $20, and I requested that use minimum lot of 0.01. He used 0.02. And as if that was not enough, he still entered multiple position. That is greed. You want to double your account in a few seconds, you will end up losing the account. So do not trade with greed. Do not be in a haste to make money. Be patient, okay? Now, there's one guy who said, you know, everybody want to blow. Okay? Everybody want to blow. If you blow, you will bust. But if you grow, you will remain in your growth. Okay? Now, one thing about jumping up and climbing up. Now, if you jump up, you will come down. Is it not so? When you jump up, you come down. But when you climb up, you remain up. So that's one thing in this market. You don't want to be in a hurry. You want to be patient. You want to be doing it one step at a time. And you want to learn the ropes in the course of the journey. So don't let your losses run. Cut short your losses. Now, one of the things is that you were given a stop loss for a trade, and you see that the trade has taken $5 from your account. You said no. You increase the stop loss from the $5 it was. You take it to $10. That the trade will reverse. All right. You leave the thing. The thing is going to $9. You say, I beg, let me even remove the stop loss. It will reverse because all the time the trade has hit stop loss. After it hits stop loss, it always reverse. So let me leave it. It will reverse. By so doing, you are exposing your account. Before you know, a trade you would have just lost only $3 that will hit stop loss, you end up losing either your account or you are losing $40 to $50 from your account. Why? Because you did not cut your losses. You allow your loss to run. So don't cut short your profit. Let your profit run. Take partial profit when necessary and allow the profit to continue. Now, there is this joy and the excitement of when you see the blues, you want to just take it. You don't want it to go back to red. All right. Most times, a trade that would have given us the fortune we are looking for, we cut it very early because it just gives you $5, $10. You say, whoa, let me take it a beg. Maybe this one not going to go back to loss. Okay. But at the end of the day, you see that after a day or two, that same trade you cut at $10 has given some other person $200 or even $300. Okay? But it's not a one-day thing. It's something you learn over and over again, over time. You get better at it. So don't open multiple trades with high lot size on a small account. This was what I just referenced that someone did yesterday. So don't risk more than 3% of your account. Use minimum lot size. You know what that means. So what it's trying to tell you is that if you have a $100 account, you know, and you taking your trade yourself, you should be sure that for every trade you are taking, your exposure should not be more than $3. That is 3%. Your exposure should not be more than $3. That is proper risk management. Don't trade without stop loss. There is this saying that those who trade without stop loss eventually stop trading. Because if you trade without stop loss, you will always blow your account. And by the time you blow your account over and over again, it will get to a time that you will not even have money to fund again. And if you do not have money to fund again, what happens? You stop trading. Okay? So don't compare your result with others. That some people are showcasing results. Oh, I made $10 today, I make $20 today, and you have not made anything, or maybe you made $1 when others are making $10. That is your own part-time. So don't compare your result with others. Then for proper risk management, a $100 account is 0.01. You have $200 account, you can use 0.02. You have $500 account, you can use 0.05. You have 1,000, you can use 0.1. You have 3,000, you can use 0.1 to 0.3, depending on your person, okay? Okay. So now say 11 trading rules that work. All right? Trading is not an investment. Not gambling. Plan your trade. Avoid the open. Review your trade. Have a stop loss. Have a target. Best trades only. So you look at 3, 4, 5 trades. Which one is the best with high probability? Be in control. All right, be in control. Then trade small and accept a losing day. There are some days you just wake up, you take the first trade, you lose it. You take the second trade, you lose it. You just tell yourself that, man, today is not a good day. Let me leave the chart for today. Or maximum for you, you may say you do 3. If you lose the 3, you are not going again. All right? These are very tough decisions to make. They are not easily made, but they are very tough decisions to make. But if you can begin to grow in them over time, you see that you remain in this market. Thanks for your attention. This is the end of the course, okay? Then from tomorrow, we're looking at the charts. I'm talking about, I believe you guys have set up your MT5. You have set up your demo on your MT5, you know. So from tomorrow, we'll be looking at the chart. We'll do analysis, all right, and we'll take trades, okay? We'll do analysis and we'll take trades. And I'll also give you 2 or 3 strategies that you'll be trading with, okay? Whichever one works for you, you stick to it. There are simple strategies that if you obey the rules and you wait for every condition to be met, definitely is going to give you what you want. So I'm going to be ending the recording here now so that you can begin to ask your questions. Thanks, everyone. Oh, battery low. Thank God, battery low. Oh, thank God I have ended this before the battery low comes because there's no light. Okay, have I ended the recording? Stop recording.